How the devil? Oh, yeah. Why, Yoda? Yeah. What? Anyway, okay. Okay, so I really enjoy streaming Ultra HD music and HD music through Amazon. I love the convenience of streaming and high-res music through streaming. I love the convenience of it. You know, if you've got a few friends around, you're having a bit of a party or something, just choose the tracks willy-nilly without having to put a record on or put a CD in or anything like that. However, I personally prefer the sound. If I was critical listening or listening on my own, just listening in front of my hi-fi, I prefer the sound of a CD over streaming. I do think it's a little bit punchier and with a little bit more detail. That's my personal opinion. I prefer to listen to CDs when I'm listening leisurely, but if I have people around, I will stick the streaming on. It's just easier. But I prefer CDs. But what are the other choices? Now, we're only talking about digital music here, not talking about vinyl. That's for another video, okay? We're talking about digital choices here. So what other choices do we have? Well, here's some I prepared earlier. So what have we got first? Well, first I've got this HDCD. So HDCD was developed by a company called Pacific Microsonics and released in 1995, but it was bought by Microsoft in 2000. Now, HDCD is claimed to improve audio CD in two general ways. One is to increase the available dynamic range from 16-bit standard to a claimed 20 bits, and this represents an increase in dynamic range from around 90 dB to 114 dB. Microsoft discontinued their HDCD website in 2005. Now, they said it was, they claimed it was backwards compatible with a CD player. So if you didn't have a HDCD player, you could put it in a normal CD player and it would play it. But some said it didn't work quite properly and didn't quite sound right. You can look that up online for yourselves, but I don't know. But it's very hard to get a HDCD player anymore. Even I've got a 4K UBP X800, I believe, Sony. That plays everything, but it doesn't play HDCD. But I do have a Rotel CD player, which does play HDCD. Is it better? Well, it does sound better compared to the normal CD. However, is that just the remastering of it? I don't know. So that one's up for debate. It did sound better to me, but it could have been that it was remastered to sound better. So the jury's out on that one. Then you've got SACD and DVD audio. Now these ones had a bit of a tussle back in the early 2000s. Oof, it was like VHS and Betamax all over again.
Why, Iona, you? What'd you say about my mother?
Anyway, right. So these had a bit of a tussle. So let's start with SACD. It was developed jointly by Sony and Philips Electronics and released in 1999. It uses a single bit 2.8 megahertz sample rate and can produce a 5.1 surround sound. DVD audio was developed by the DVD Forum. Now, I'm not sure who the DVD Forum were. I'm not sure there's some enclosed group you've got to have a secret handshake and roll your trouser leg up to join. I don't know, but there we go. And it's a high-res audio format with a bit rate of 24-bit over 96 kilohertz, and that was released in 1999. So why weren't they a commercial success? I wonder. Well, I'll tell you why, because I've read up on it. Firstly, there was the format war. The DVD Forum, headed by Toshiba, refused to pay the patent royalties to Sony and Philips, and they launched a competing format, the DVD audio, which couldn't be played in a CD player. Ironically, the royalty for an SACD was the same as a CD, 10 cents per disc, while the royalty for a DVD audio disc was around 4 times higher. Record labels chose sides. The Warner Group, part of the DVD forum, so they were probably pulling their trouser leg up and doing the secret handshake to join, went with DVD audio, and Universal and Sony chose SACD. Consumers were understandably reluctant to choose one format over the other. And that's why I say it was a bit like the battle between VHS and Betamax. But by then, by the 2000s, people were like, oh, we're not going for that again. You can naff off. And what happened then was, what came in around the early 2000s? The iPod! And that put a spanner in the works. Even though these formats were high-res audio and obviously sounded better than an iPod back then, iPod was convenient and cheap. I mean, the first SACD player was $5,000. What the deuce? So they're really aiming at audiophiles with plenty of cash in their pocket. And that was just for the player. So flipping heck, I think it was only a transport, so you would have had to get the amplifier to go with that as well. So you can see why these formats didn't work. Now, are they better than CD? Absolutely, I think so. I think they both sound very, very good. Now, here's something to be aware of though. Researchers in 2004 found that amongst a selected group of listeners on a selected playback setup, no perceptible difference was reported in audio quality between DVD audio and SACD. Now, I think there's a reason for that. So when they first released the SACD and started putting it out and started publicising it, they were comparing it to a normal CD, right, 16-bit. Now, that is going to sound, obviously, it's going to sound a little bit better, bit more bright, bit punchier, whatever. It's going to sound better. And the people were like, wow, that's really, really good. But what they didn't compare it to was a high-res audio disc. Most SACDs, the master is in PCM. So it's mastered in PCM, then converted to DSD to put on an SACD. So realistically, most, 99%, maybe less, I don't know, maybe less, right? But 99% of SACDs were originally mastered in high-res PCM. So they're not going to sound any better than a DVD audio. And that's why they couldn't tell the difference. And then you got Blu-ray audio. Now, again, you've got to have a player that, I think most Blu-rays can play Blu-ray audio to a certain extent. My Blu-ray player, 4K Blu-ray, yes, it isn't. My 4K Blu-ray player, indeed, easy for you to say, can play these fine. I think most Blu-ray players can, anyway. So you've got a couple of types. These ones here are just stereo, high-res, 24-bit. And do they sound better than the CD? Most of the time, yes. Depends how they're mastered. But on the whole, yes, they definitely sound better. Then you've got these other two I've got here. So these are the surround series. These are, you've got 5.1 surround, you've got Dolby Atmos plus the stereo mix. Now, the stereo mix on this one, the Dolby Atmos mix and the 5.1 mix on ABC's Lexicon of Love, it sounds really good. The stereo remix, however, I think it seems, I don't know what it is. They've made it just too, they brought the instruments too far forward and the voice is too far back. I don't know. I don't think the stereo mix on that is particularly good. However, on Duran Duran's new album, Dance Macabre, the stereo mix on this sounds fantastic. Really, really good. It's a good album, not bad at all. There's a couple of tracks on it which are a bit Ghost Town cover. It used to be by the Specials. They've covered Ghost Town. Leave it there, Duran Duran. But a lot of the tracks are really, really good. Now, what's the problem with Blu-ray audio? Well, the thing is though, a Blu-ray can hold up, I think it's 50 gigabytes on a dual layer. A lot of information you can put on these, but do you think they do that? No, they don't. They just stick on the tracks and then they mix it in Dolby Atmos and stuff like that. So there's still plenty of room to put a bit more on there. And also, when you get the Atmos mixes, by the time you pay post and packaging, you're looking at £27-ish, I think it was, around about there, to 30 quid. Now, it's not, I suppose it's not that expensive when you compare it to vinyl. Vinyl is sometimes around £30-ish, 20 to £30, sometimes £40, depends what album you buy. But when you think of a CD, it's only, well, I bought that one for like 3 quid on eBay, right? It kind of puts you off wanting to buy these unless you're a real collector. And what I don't want to see is these die out. Now, I'll give you an example of what I mean. So where is it? Where are we? So take this DVD audio, and this is what, 23 to 24 years old? Let me stick this in the Blu-ray player and show you what I mean and compare it to a Blu-ray. Okay, let's have a look at this one first. Come on. Okay, so this is the Dolby Atmos mix of Duran Duran's Danse Macabre. Okay, so you can play album, you've got track selection and audio options. Let's go down to audio options. Then you see you've got Dolby Atmos, DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 and Stereo 96 to 24. Okay, 24-bit. So let's put it on the stereo mix here. And back, the album. Hopefully that's not too loud, right? And all you get on this is you get the Dolby Atmos mix, the stereo mix, the 5.1. And you get some graphics on the back then when the songs are playing. So it's playing Night Boat now. And this is all you get all the way through. Just Duran Duran floating around in the back there, right? With all little bits everywhere. Okay, that's all you get. Now, by contrast, let's have a look at the DVD audio from 20 odd years ago. Okay, this is the Cause in Blue DVD audio disc. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the Cause. They were okay back in the day. The girls were easy on the eye, wink wink. But the only reason I bought this is that I wanted to see what DVD audio was like. But I didn't want to spend too much money. So this was quite cheap on eBay. So I bought it just to see what DVD audio was like. And let's see by comparison what you get on a DVD audio disc. Don't forget now, I think a DVD audio disc can only hold about, what, 4 gigabytes, is it? Something like that, 5, maybe 10 on a double layer, on a dual layer. Maybe something around there, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. So a Blu-ray can hold way more information than a DVD audio disc. So if you look here, you've got your playlist in surround sound, that's 5.1. Then you've got your stereo playlist there. Then you've also got the video. You're having a laugh. Let's get the video on. Now, look, this is 20 odd years old, so it's going to be in a weird format, okay? But imagine buying that 24 years ago. Oh, I've got the music in 5.1. I've got it in stereo. I've got the video as well for their main hit song. Marvellous, okay? Then you've got, let's get it back to the start again. Then you've got discography, right? So you go on here and it gives you the discography. So you can go, oh, what have they got? Let's have a look. Let's have a little look what they got. So you go, oh, they got this one. Forgiven, Not Forgotten. Marvellous. What else they got? Oh, they've got Forgiven, Not Forgotten Australian Tour Edition. Oh, what else they got? Whatever that is. Right. Anyway, you see what I'm getting at? Not only that, oh, there's more. Okay, so let's get it on stereo playback. Right. Have a look at this. So you go, oh, I wish I knew the lyrics. Hang on. Why ain't it playing? There you go. Right. I wish I knew the lyrics. Oh, there they are. Well, I'll be damned. You've got the lyrics on there. Didn't have it on the Blu-ray audios, right? Not only have you got the lyrics, though, you can look at photos. You can go, oh, I'll look at a couple of photos here. Marvellous. Brilliant. How good is that? Right? Then you can have a look at the commentary. So, oh, I wrote that with Mutt Lang, whoever that is, in Switzerland. It's a bizarre situation going to meet someone for the first time and trying to write a song with them, but it worked great, blah, blah, blah. Andrea. Thanks, Andrea. And you got the playlist then, it goes back to that. So as you can see, this 20-odd-year-old DVD audio is a lot more interactive than these Blu-rays here. Now, I like buying these because they, on the whole, they do sound very good, right? But there's not enough to keep you interested. You know, why should I buy these over a £2 CD? You know, I'm like, give me something more than, okay, Dolby Atmos or whatever, but it's a very niche product, isn't it? So, you know, when they release these, they only release a couple of them because they're so niche, they can't release the mass market. And that's a shame because I'd like these to reach more people. And it would be interesting to see how well they would sell if they were a little bit more interactive like this, gone, okay, like this DVD audio. If you had the commentary, if you had a video on there, or for the size of it, a couple of bloody videos, come on, sort it out. Do the Blu-ray have a Blu-ray consortium? You know, I don't know, maybe they do. And I'd hate to see these die out. Lastly, why should I pay £25 for this, or to £30, when I can get the live concert of my favourite bands or whatever, okay, and this one, hang on. So I can get the live concert in 4K, right, for about £12 to £15. Sometimes they're 20 when they're first out. I got these for about 15 quid each, right? In 5.1 sound, stereo sound, high res, okay? And so I get all these, and plus there's loads of bonus extras on them as well. There's a bonus extra on the beginning, live at the River Plate, which is fantastic. That's funny, you need to watch that. I can't show it for whatever reason. But you get to watch a live performance of your favourite bands in 4K, in 5.1 stereo or high-res stereo, high-res audio. So, well, again, making this a very niche product. So if they were to put more extras on their commentary, pictures, videos, the lyrics, even the lyrics, come on, man. People are spending a lot of money on that. There's so much room on it. Come on. It may be down to the fact that it's a small company only doing these now and the cost would be too much to do that. I don't know what it is, but I'd hate to see these die a death like SACD and HDCD and obviously DVD audio. This all died a death. I wouldn't want to see Blu-ray pure audio also die a death. Now, a lot of you may be thinking, well, what's the point in getting this Blu-ray audio and DVD audio and all that? Just play CDs. Well, I like to have a range of stuff to try. That's the whole fun about playing music, is to also experiment, not just listening to music, but to experiment with different formats. And that's why I like having a Blu-ray player. And again, people might say, well, a Blu-ray player doesn't play CDs, doesn't play music as well as a CD player. Well, look, and this is only my opinion. I'm bound to have a keyboard warrior down there in the comments. Well, you're talking about nonsense. CD player is so much better than DVD player and Blu-ray player. Well, here's the thing. So the Blu-ray player doesn't have its own DAC. So I'm essentially using it as a transport. And the DAC it's using is the DAC in this Marantz amp. Okay, this Marantz AV. Now, if I was to plug in my dedicated CD player and connect it via coaxial, that would also be using this amp DAC. Okay, and I guarantee if you were blindfolded and I played CD on each one, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It'd be if you were critical listening, like really leaning in, but you knew which one was playing, you may be able to pick it out. But if I blindfolded you, right, there's no way you'll be able to pick each one up. I've tried this before on other CD players. I had a cheaper Blu-ray player. I used it as a transport, compared it to a CD 6007, and I couldn't tell the difference. So there you go. Anyway, what are your thoughts in the comment section? Do you use any of these formats? What do you think of them? Please let me know in the comment section. Anyway, that's come to the end of this video. I'll catch you in the next one.